Good morning. Hi. Frankie, come. Jump. Jump. Come on, jump. Good boy. Come here. Say hi. Oops, there's my boy. Get up here. Oh, he's falling off the back. My poor baby. Hi, Frankie, honey. Good boy. Good boy. Wish I had a treat for you up here. Oh, you can't see. There's my boy. Hi, baby. Hi, baby. What do you want to do now? How are y'all doing this morning? There you go. Good baby. Oh, he is such a good dog. I'm so lucky. There's only a couple little things, and all of us have quirks. But it's not a deal breaker. Every once in a while, when I had him the first 6 months or so, I thought, oh, I don't know. It's because I'm too old for a dog that young. I thought he was a little older. It turns out the vet, I don't know if I had told you this. It turned out the vet said that he was closer to 9 months. And he had already been returned to the Humane Society twice. Returned twice. Wow. Not unlike me. He was transient. Or not transient. Disposable. Yeah. Your mama didn't want you. Or daddy or whoever. So anyway, you're not going to believe the weather. It is like 71 degrees out. I know. Crazy. I can't hardly believe it. So we're going to spend a lot of time outside. And I have some stuff to do at Lowe's. I think I told you part of my... I was so stressed for about a week. I was in tears. And I let some of this stuff happen naturally. But some of it came across as anger, which I don't normally have, that lasts longer than seconds or minutes, 20 minutes, I mean the most. And I just don't go there very often because I work hard not to. I don't even have to work hard not to go to anger. It just, I used to work really hard at it. And what I would normally do, and this is what I encourage people to do, is to work hard on it now where it feels almost like it's impossible to work that hard on it. To slow down, do the 4-7-8 breathing. No more than 4 times at first. Then you can work your way up to, I don't think you need to do it more than 6 times. And Andrew Weil says 8 times, but no more than that. I don't do 8 times because it makes me lightheaded. Always has. I've been at this for a very long time. If I get cut off, it's not my fault. I got company, and it's a weird day. So if you hear yelling before I disconnect, it's not your fault. It's mine for risking not being available. So I'll get off and I'll come back later when I have time.
I'm here.
Hi, I'm on the phone. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yay. Okay, so anyway, and then the stop, thought, change thought. That is amazing work. That and self-care, being able to do the activities, do the things I want to do, whether I'm doing them alone or not. There was a time when I would have never taken myself out to a restaurant by myself. And now it's one of my favorite things to do. I'm going to go ahead and shut the door so I'm not distracted. Thank you. See, even things like that, I would have, years ago, I would have been so afraid to offend that there are some things I just wouldn't do. Or I would get mad about it because I would just have this dialogue going on in my head saying, well, I can't do that, I can't do that, and then be mad about it. I know, crazy, right? Well, it's not crazy if you have low self-value. If you have low self-value, you think, oh, well, that's just being polite. I know, it's sad. And I remember one time when I was speaking with some women about domestic violence. And I said, you know, one of the things you can say to someone who you're not agreeing with, just to be honest, I mean, in your own way, just say, well, you could be right, you know, just to get out of that argument, you know, experiment with tone and stuff. I think people need to experiment with tone. I know I've had to do a lot of work on tone, and I'm still not great at it. But, yeah, I know I wore the wrong bra with this shirt. Dang it. I'll figure it out. I'm going to be wearing a shirt over this, though, because I imagine it's a little chilly out. Okay, I'm going to put on some makeup. But I'm just telling you that there are ways to work hard at it so that later, when you have these mood changes or life gets stressful, you're equipped. It's like going to basic training. It's intense and it's hard, but then you're ready. You're ready for what comes in combat. And that's what it feels like sometimes. That fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. When you get that cortisol and adrenaline building up, whoosh, you don't even know it's building up. It's just a baloosh of emotions, and it just takes over the body, and it feels like, and you think there's no other choice but to boom, whatever. So I hear Frankie quietly outside the door, if I'm right. No, I guess it was just wind. Oh, got some doors open, fresh air coming through the house. Oh my God, it's wonderful. So anyway, yeah, I got emotional. I was emotional for around 5 days. But I was able to be honest about what I was feeling, able to think about it very clearly in categories so I could differentiate between what was real and what was fantasy, what was embarrassment of my behavior versus shame of who I am. And what an amazing journey that I had started a little fire by accident with a cigarette that I put out in a pot. I think I shared this in one of my videos. I thought it was dirt. It turns out it was mulch. So we were able to, well, my mother-in-law, who I cherish, put out the fire herself. Amazing. She just put pots of water from her sink, which was just right outside the door, and onto her porch there. So it did get a portion of the railing, and her flower basket that had the mulch in it. Years ago, I would have packed my car and moved away. And then, or decades ago, years ago, I would have just wallowed in shame on what a horrible person I am that I wasn't smart enough to figure out that was mulch instead of, because it's real fine mulch. A lot of people here use it for planting material, which is weird to me, but whatever. They do, and I guess it's treated with nutrients and stuff. I don't know. And just felt stupid and let my brain go into an old tape that I used to play. But I kept doing stop thought, change thought, and the breathing exercises for so long, for so many years, and doing the positive audio as I'm falling asleep, exercise several times a week, if not every day, for a very long time. Not hard exercise, but just enough to get my brain chemicals smoothing out. So this time, I know it's awful. It is. It's embarrassing, and I'm sorry it happened. But I'm not ashamed. I made a mistake, and thank God nothing worse happened. And if something worse did happen, I'd have to take it on the chin. My insurance would have to pay for it. I'd have to go into debt. I'd be shunned by the family. Though every tiny worst case scenario, I know I could handle, because I've handled it before. So in one way or another. That was another little trick, is when I would go into panic mode to write down with pen and paper the worst case scenarios. So I'm just in awe of how my work has evolved into reality. I'm going to use some of this goop. Chrissy sent me a tester, and I'm using a pea-size amount. Usually, here's the thing. I've had enough money to buy basically whatever I've wanted to for anything I want. Anything I need, not what. Anything I need, for sure. And a lot of what I want for a couple decades, at least. But I've lived in my head like a poor person. Bought the clothes, nice clothes that I needed for work, nice clothes that I needed for working out. And then on my leisure time, piecemealing things together. Instead of buying a whole outfit, I keep hearing Frankie. Frankie? Oh, you're getting me in trouble. Come here, let go. Did you chew something out? That's why I heard you earlier, isn't it? You were probably bringing me something. Oh, you sweet thing. All right. That was too cute. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, I wanted to talk about, so I've gotten so many compliments off of this powder. It's got pink in it, and Plum Plum was talking about how she uses pink powder, but it's just gotten so expensive. Off of Temu, this is sort of a burnt rose and light pink, mauve pink, peach, and then the cream color. That's several different colors in there. But I've been using these and getting compliments. So, and they're around $5. And that's a normal amount of powder. Here's my Rimmel. So, it might be a little less, but this is also $4, $5, $6. And I love my Rimmel. That's 101, and my other Rimmel that I use is 004. I use these. I'd use this around the outside, this around the inside. And that's what I was doing with this one. I've only used it for a few days. And then the other pink powder, I already took it out of the box, but this is what it looks like. It's got this cute little mirror on the top. And here's what it says on the bottom. It's Alicia. I've got a cure for this. ILISYA. It's 8 grams. Soft pink, Alicia finishing powder. I don't think that's going to focus on it. There you go. Okay, so here's this was fairly inexpensive. I think I got it for, oh, there it is in big print. Just joking. ILISYA. Isn't that pretty? Anyway, here's this big top, but it goes over. It just pulls off. So that sponge is a little big for me. I think that was a waste of money. They could have saved that and just had the tub. But then when you take that off, there's sponge underneath. Taking that thing out, make sure when you pull that plastic insert out, it looks like this. When you powder. When you go to take this out, a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't. I've made such a mess. Start to pull it off on one side and then the other. Go back and forth, but hold it down on a table nice and secure while you're doing it. But I'm going to show you what I do, because that's a very small amount of powder in my opinion when you can buy this size for the same price. But see, that's my poor thinking again. I have only used this once and I was in a hurry, so I didn't really get to pay attention to how it worked. So I'm going to use it again today. But I'm going to tell you what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to get another jar. This is what I do with my air spun. It's about empty. What I think I'm going to do, because this was for last summer when I was out in the sun a lot. This summer I haven't been out in the sun at all. I think I'm going to mix this with it because I have another jar coming and it looks like it's bigger. And if I like this, I think I'm going to dilute it down with something else. I'm not sure because this is not handy for me. So I'm either going to put it in a jar with some other powder or I'm going to put it in its own jar that's just bigger because I like makeup to be easy to use. Okay, getting back to, I'm going to use that today. It's just, a lot of people say, well, put it on your hand or a little bit on a card and use it. But to me, when it's a tiny bit amount like that, if I accidentally spill this, it's all gone. There's no way to pick that up. And then any little granule that gets wasted. I mean, just me trying to figure out how to open it and get that little plastic lid out of it. I wasted some on my hand and I'm dabbing it with a powder brush and looking where I spilled it so I could use it. Very poor thinking. I know. But on the other hand, too, why have such a small amount? They don't even carry a bigger one. Like, this isn't a sample size if they don't have a larger size to go to. I don't know. But a different brand had a powder. This brand had a powder that was pink, and they already sold out. And that's a better size. But it's still about as much as that air spun, which, the cost is as much as the air spun. But in the air spun, once again, you get twice as much. That's a lot more than this. Yeah. You know, one of the benefits of being poor is, I'm going to use this. I love this. Is that you can think in a little bit different way. I don't like droppers. I like squeezers, but whatever. It's a wonderful makeup. Okay, so one of the things that I was talking with a client about, and this happens often, they'll be feeling good, and I'll give them, when they're feeling bad, I give them homework. If they're feeling good, I give them homework. I don't give homework every single day, every single week. I only do that in the beginning, and I try to make it clear, if you want a counselor who's going to just nod and smile, there are a lot of counselors like that. But if you want a counselor who's actually going to do psychotherapy and help you get to a place where you can start being happy about how you live your life, happy about being alive, or at least accept that you're alive and do the best you can, knowing you're doing the best you can, no matter what. Look at that makeup. Chrissy sent this to me. I love this makeup. And this primer. Okay. So I want to put this on, but it's in such a small container. So I'm going to just use this lid. I'm going to dab it in there. Pull some out. Whee! That's a lot. And the ceiling fan is putting it everywhere. It doesn't smell like much. Boy, I got a brush full of it. I don't see any shine or anything in it as far as that goes. Oh, I gotta change this shirt. I am not believing this. I love this bra with black shirts, but okay. See any difference? I like it. I think it just looks a little clean, a little cleaner than, you know, all that bronzer stuff. And so I need eyebrows. I'm supposed to be getting my tail to Lowe's so I can pick out some bathroom stuff. So, because that leak had been going on, I told you, for some time. Well, that means a lot of floor is going to be ripped out. Well, the whole floor. It's a small bathroom, so the floor will be taken out. Oops, sorry. Gonna get a pedestal sink instead of a cupboard sink. To just, since they're tearing out that shower wall, gonna make it an open shower. Every repair that's getting done on the house is going to be used as the opportunity to make the house handicap accessible, because there's just been way too many surgeries and healing processes to not be smart about that. And it'll probably end up saving the insurance company money. And instead of putting all that tile in there for that shower area, gonna put a seamless just walk-in shower. I think that's the way to go. Yeah, that's what I think. Why don't I have my little lid? Oh, man. I had one. Yeah, I think I got a little overzealous throwing stuff away recently because I kept thinking, oh, I haven't used that for a while because I've been using all of my using liquid eyeliner. And so now I don't have something to put, I found a lid, to put my water in for my eyeliner powder. So anyway, what I decided to do is there's a closet in that bedroom that I had lattice doors put in when I first moved in, because I like air moving through a closet. And so what, you know, you've been in some bedrooms where it looks like they have matching his and her closets. So like there's 2 lattice closets on one wall and then the rest of the bedroom. So I'm going to do that lattice, that his and her look, but behind one lattice doors opening, it'll be the bathroom. So if you're in there, you're just going to feel like you have so much more room when the doors are open. Plus, any moisture in there is going to evaporate a little quicker because it's not just in that room. But it's not going to evaporate quickly. These closet lattices are pretty tight. And normally, if you have to be loud in a bathroom, you go use a hall bathroom. If someone's in there sleeping or whatever. And at my age, I don't have overnight guests. Just saying. And I don't use that one, so. But someday I might. And I want it to be just right. And honestly, when you're caring for somebody and you have to have a wheelchair availability, that bathroom is going to be a dream to get in and out of, and to push a wheelchair in there to bathe someone. It's just going to be heaven. And or have a nurse come in. They're going to charge less just because you're making their job so easy. Seriously. Somebody falls down in there, you're going to be able to pick them up. There's going to be room for a couple people to get in there and help. So I'm really happy about that. This being such a small home, every room is a commitment to space. And I think, you know, people in the 60s when this house was built, they were smaller people, I guess. Because this is crazy. There's no way anybody can be this. I don't know why anybody would build such small, like basically outhouse size bathrooms. And it's funny when somebody said, and here's the larger hallway bathroom, and I'm thinking, this should be the minimum size of an ensuite. Back then, they put the bigger bathroom in the public where the other bedrooms can get to it and guests can get to it. And then the ensuite bathroom was this tiny little closet. It's like, oh my gosh, people, you deserve better. You deserve better. Here's the deal. I need to find my mascaras. There you are. Thank you. Yeah. I love Essence Lash. And I love Great Lash. I love these two. I made the mistake of buying imitation ones. Shido's Lash. Look at how much they look alike. This one's from Amazon. I had for a while. And I got this one from Temu. Can you believe how much they look alike? That's crazy. Oh, well, underneath the packaging, you'll see the heart and the rest of the lattice. I'm sorry. Yeah, you can't really see it on there. But anyway, I have to leave the lid off of these Temu mascaras for a day, all day. Close it up at night and then open it back up the next day maybe, because it's too thin. It's too thin. Great Lash. I enjoy it at its thinnest consistency, but then I let it dry and clump on some more, maybe 3 or 4 layers. Essence Lash, to me, is like layering. It's just the perfect consistency to just goober it on and have the false lash. I'm sorry it's not in the right lash container, but it looks a lot like this one. It looks a lot like this one. But I don't want to take the airtight off of there yet because I want it to stay uncontaminated. You know, every time you take the lid off, they say it gets contaminated, but I take the lid off because I want air in there to make it thick. But I'm gonna have this one here and open it because I know it needs some air to dry out a little bit. And I don't know if you know this, but there's not a lot of product in these things, but our eyelashes don't take a lot of product. So you just do the best you can. Do the best you can with what you have to work with. Okay. Oh, where was I? Okay. So the problem is when clients do their darn homework, you know what? I had a lot of suicidal ideation. I didn't really want to cut my throat or hang myself or whatever. I was on a mission of slow suicide by drinking myself to death. Or just allowing myself to wallow in self-pity to where I wasn't living. So it went from one to the other. And I would have bright moments sometimes before I had good therapy. But then when I would feel bad again, for whatever reason, Frankie, enough. Enough. Thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. I was tuned out. What happens is our forgetter works really well. Don't forget that. That's one of the things that depressed people have, or people who get depressed. Now, I'm not talking about clinically depressed, but I will tell you that's overdiagnosed. A lot of it is based off of PTSD or lack of training on how to adjust your personality to life. And to me, that's a lot of little T's. It may not be a big trauma, but it's a little trauma. And I'm not saying anything bad about anybody's family. I'm just saying they didn't know what they didn't know. They didn't know how to teach you that. There are some ways that we go to handle things that just don't make sense. Like drinking when you're depressed. Alcohol is a depressant. What? I know. I did it. Then when I go to put on this next layer of mascara, this is something my godmother taught me, is not to brush it on again, but to goop it up on that. Goop it up on there. I know I need to open a fresh bottle, but it's the perfect consistency right now. And then just push it in. Down at the bottom. Not on the tips. Down towards the base. Look how thick that is. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. The dedication to the homework is easy to forget or to have power behind if while you're in a good mood, while you're actually happy or content or thinking, you know what, life's okay, write it down. Make a short list, or as long as you want, but the shorter the better, because when you're not in a good mood, you don't want to read a whole bunch of long crap usually, and you don't believe half of it. So make it short and simple and write, I really mean this. Life feels like it's worth living. Life feels like curiosity is a good thing. Life feels like I am supposed to be here. I feel like I'm forgetting. Oh yeah, lips. I need lips. I got so upset. I got another cold sore. I've had 2 cold sores in a week and a half. And I never get cold sores anymore. I used to have them as a kid often. Need a little blush. Just a little. And you know what? I'm going to use this pink since I'm into pink. Pink powder. Just a little bit. Just so I make it look like I was out in the sun. Just going to the lumberyard. Oh, the lid just came off. It just broke off of there. Huh. Now I have the perfect little container for water. Brilliant. Okay, so the deal is, write down how you feel about certain things, what's going on. So when you start getting down or when you're down, and have that note where you're going to see it every day, and you're certainly going to see it as when you're down. It'll help remind you why doing your homework, even when you don't feel like it, works. The breathing thing, honestly, when you're in a good mood, breathing in 4, 7, 8, once or twice in a row, 3, 4 times at max in a row. I don't go more than 4 times myself. Throughout the day, like every couple hours, make time to do that. It sounds like that would be nothing, right? That's twice. You can do that in the bathroom at work. You can do it where nobody can tell you're doing it. At your desk or working in the warehouse. Yeah. Moisturizes my skin pretty good. I like Neutrogena. Go for a walk every day if you can. Preferably 10 minutes twice a day. And you can do that on your lunch break at work. Whether you work on the mall, walk around, or in a big office building, walk around the halls, walk up and down the staircase, take a buddy, then walk around your neighborhood for 10 minutes or around your house cleaning. But get up and do something, not standing there doing dishes. You have to walk. You have to actually walk around, not stroll. You have to be willing to shut your mouth. You need to be willing to stop thought, change thought, even if it's mundane and redundant, meaning the same thing over and over again. Stop thought blueberries, stop thought blueberries. Stop. If you can't get more creative, don't. Otherwise, go ahead and try to trick yourself into having fun with it and say anything you can think of that's blue or whatever. These simple basic things can change your neural pathways, right? There's a the Hoffman method, which is a dude who has all of this material that he teaches his people, and they, you know, they have all the clients answer questions about their family and stuff, and basically it's what in a more sophisticated way, and they do it like you come to their center for a week or so, week or 10 days, I don't know. And so they can really focus in on helping you with how you're thinking, with your neural pathways, and what you're doing physically, and what you're eating. Because a lot of the foods we eat cause issues. The honest to God truth is, especially some of us with more sensitive bodies, I'm sensitive enough to certain foods that I feel a little edgier. Even when I eat sugar, I'll get hot flashes a little while later, or fried foods, or and a little bit of blurred vision. Which when it happens, I'm thinking, what the hell? But now I know what it is. I know I just had a chunk of sugar earlier. And if you're eating sugar constantly, you think your vision is terrible. Well, it could be. I don't know. I'm just saying. That's just an example of some of the things they go over with you. And they help teach you how growing up in a certain environment based on your own personality profile, like the 16 personalities test that I told you to take a look at, is why you respond in a certain way to the environment you grew up in and how it made you feel. And at the end of the day, you realize where you grew up in, all those maniacs or all those sweet people, they didn't know they were doing it wrong. They were just doing the best they could. They were probably going out of their minds, and they were worried about other stuff. Even if it looked like they were just worried about themselves, they had their own stuff going on in their head, right? I'm not defending them, and neither does that program. What it's saying is, you got to where you're at for the same reason they got to where they're at. How about that? Messed up, right? But it's true. So then it also kind of helps you to have a little compassion, not just for, you don't have to have compassion for them, but just accept that that's the truth. And then be able to just have some compassion for yourself, or accept it's just the truth, and move forward into making that decision, that commitment. Like, are you going to be able to make a commitment? If not to other people ever, go ahead. Don't make a commitment to another person again. Don't. None of my business. But if you don't make a commitment to yourself while you're on this planet, in this body, at this time, that'd be poop. That'd be too bad. If you are going to be on this planet, stick around until nature takes its course. For the most part, that's what I think most people should do. That's true. It's a challenge. Make a commitment to participate and do the best you can. That's what I decided to do, and that's why I was diligent about doing my homework. I decided if I wasn't going to kill myself slowly, even by obsessing about it, driving off a bridge or driving into a mountain or driving into an embankment, jumping off this balcony. It's like, God, it was hypnotic sometimes. Just be driving down a highway and think, here goes an embankment. Passed up another one, passed up that one again. It was hypnotic. So I had to do, that's an example where I use stop thought, change thought. I don't look at the embankment, or if I do, I just go stop thought and then change it to blueberries. When I'm sitting around just thinking about nothing, and then all of a sudden the repeated message comes into my head, my word was clear, clear, clear water, clear sky, clear stream, clear vision, clear water. I would just go over and over and over again. Clear, clear, clear. I love that word as my cue word for a while. So anyway, what I'm saying is, if life is depressing, if there's people in your life that just make you crazy sometimes, I get it. Oh, I so get it. The health I was in a couple years ago, during COVID, during the whole vaccine issues, during the whole military fiasco, my spouse's health, my dog died, lucky, and I had moved here to Tennessee and didn't have a support system, and I felt like I was being crushed. Because, man, that was a lot. All at once. Oh, it was a lot. I was thinking about how weak I felt. I wasn't weak. That was a lot. And I know a lot of other people went through a lot during that time, if not identical to what I was going through. That's a lot on any given normal day here in America. Maybe not somewhere else, but here it is. There are people who really messed up their life with drugs and alcohol during that time. I didn't, thank God, because I did my homework. There were a lot of people who were resorting to physical violence, to suicide, to murder, to affairs, a lot of dissension. And a lot of us didn't. We just did the best we could. We might have acted sideways sometimes trying to get it all figured out, but didn't cross the line in some of those other things. I mean, I'm sure looking back on it, you know, if you do your homework, you're going to raise your sense of self-value. You're going to go, wow, I did all right through that. Where instead of thinking, well, here we go again, right? So when I talk about doing homework, I do it for a reason, not for power and control, not to prove I'm right, not to just give you something else to do, but it's life-changing homework. I don't give just busy work to anybody. And I don't give homework that's too hard, that rarely anybody can do it, or only 50% of people can do it. These are such basic human behavior that people don't do, that they should do, if they want to be healthy anyway, for any reason. Whether you have diabetes or cancer or hypertension or it's human instinct that gets squashed out of us through pressure of not knowing what else to do. So we get ourselves small. We quit breathing. We tense up. We hide or we rage and flood our bodies with adrenaline and cortisol, etc., to help ourselves feel bigger, right? We have, because our personality, different ways of coping with things, but it's not living. All right, I'm going on, and I know I'm supposed to be getting in the truck. Frankie, you want to go? Oh, honey, did I scare you? Oh, baby, I'm sorry. You were taking a little nap. Oh my God, he was so cute last night. He wouldn't quit. Oh, there you go. He wouldn't quit barking last night, and I kept going, "Where's my dog? Come back!" And he'd come in, and finally, I was just before I went to bed. It was probably around 11:30, and he comes through the dog door. I saw him through the screen first, and I thought, oh my God, he's carrying something. Better not be a dead end. Don't be bringing an animal in here. And then the next second was, that a stick? So he brought a stick in, and it had like 3 or 4 little prongs on it, and all these dead leaves still hanging on it. And he pulled in through that big doggy door, and he jumps up on the couch, and he's just looks so proud. It was a gift. I put it on the coffee table so I could look at it until I went to bed. He's such a good boy. All right, do something that'll bring you some joy today. All right, love y'all. Bye for now.